See if Bob is there. Nope, just Jeremy. No.
Are we ready?
Joe is having issues logging in.
Yeah, I got that message.
I think we can get started. Is that Jamie?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go.
I'll help with Joe. Okay, JB is on.
No glasses tonight, just some glasses.
Oh, there's Bob. There's Bob.
There's Bob.
Hi, Bob.
I mean, can we vote on the minutes? Is he allowed to vote?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, he is allowed to vote?
Yeah, he can't make up, you have to have a quorum in person,
Right.
but he can fully participate.
Oh, good. Okay. Hi, Bob.
Hi, everybody.
We're on, so that we really shouldn't. This matters a lot. That's-
So is that a yes or no?
Yeah, I just leave the minutes.
Okay. Are we ready? Or you want to wait for Joe?
No, you're on. I'll help Joe.
Okay. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the January 10th, 2023 Zoning Board of Appeals regular monthly meeting for the board for the Village of Ossining. Remember that this is a public hearing and quasi-judicial, and as such, I want to remind those in the building and those on Zoom, the rules for today and the rules for the Zoom platform. We ask that no one speaks in the audience. If you have something you need to say or discuss, we ask that you please take it outside the room and down the hall toward the front door, because if you talk outside the conference room doors, your conversation will echo back into the room. When you come up before the board, you must provide your name and address. That includes everyone on Zoom. Remember, you are addressing the board. You are not speaking to an applicant or their representative. Applicants and representatives, please remember you are addressing the board. We are using a hybrid format. The public will continue to have the opportunity to see and hear the meetings through Zoom and provide comments during the appropriate time. In order to participate, please do the following. Members of the public attending online via the Zoom app may use the raise hand feature at the appropriate time if you would like to make a comment. The feature is located at the bottom of your screen. Those attending by telephone can press *9. The meeting host will see that your hand is raised or that you have pressed *9 and will unmute those waiting one at a time so that you can speak. Comments can also be emailed during the public hearing to the Village Planning Department at plan, P-L-A-N, at villageofossining.org. That's plan@villageofossining.org. The meeting will be recorded and a transcript of the meeting will be available at a later date. Just a few ground rules to keep the meeting in order and orderly to ensure that we get a clear recording. Please follow these ground rules. When you are given access to speak, please state your name and address. If you're speaking during the public hearing, please limit your comments to the matter which is the subject of the hearing. And if any speaker is inappropriate, they will be immediately cut off and access removed. We are at the point where we're having roll call. For the benefit of the record, we're going to do roll call to kick things off. And when our land use attorney says your name, please indicate that you are present.
Michael Spall is absent. Bob DeReo.
Present.
Bob is joining us, just so everybody knows, by Zoom. Due to extenuating circumstances, we do have a quorum present, so that is permitted. Olga Montez is absent. Kyle Abarizik,
here.
Brian Brown,
Here.
Marlene Cheatham.
Present.
So we have a quorum present in person and we have Bob DeReo on Zoom.
Thank you. Additionally, with us tonight is our Assistant Village Manager, Maddie Zahach, our Building Inspector, Joseph Agostinelli, our Board Secretary, maybe,
She is.
Jamie Kane, and our Land Use Attorney, Linda Whitehead. Let's get started. The approval for the minutes
We're gonna skip
adjourn
that.
until
Next one.
our February meeting.
It's January. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Year.
February 6th, is that the?
February
sound right?
No,
No,
the
yeah,
14th.
14, with a second.
It's we're spending Valentine's Day together.
Oh, yes, you're right.
That's
I'm
a national
imagining.
holiday.
Okay, great.
So on the agenda tonight for new business of the board is ZBA 26-2022, 12 Camp Woods Road. With us, Armando Holman and JB Hernandez, I believe.
JB is here.
Well, good evening.
Good evening. Happy New Year's to the board. 12 Campwood is a 15,000 square foot property that is located in the S75 zoning district. Is currently has a two-family home, which is approximately 2,500 square feet. That was it's been there for a while. It was built in the 1900s, and also have been improved with a two-car garage at the rear of the property. Let me see, share screen. So the property itself, like I said, is about 15,000 square feet. The original home has been there since the 1900, and it was also improved with a two-car garage at the rear of the property, which also was built in the 1920s. The two-car garage, also maybe a couple of years ago, it sustained severe fire damage, and the two-car garage also had a area above. So right now, what we are proposing is to rebuild as a three-car garage, but it's an attached three-car garage. We are removing part of a lower story adjacent to the main house, and we are attaching a three-car garage. By doing this, it's better used for the house and the owner, which will be used in the second floor apartment in the future, and also reduces the impervious coverage of the property, which it was over the 40% allow. By doing this, we are reducing it into compliance. Let me walk you through. So this is a three-car garage, and the second floor, on the second floor, we'll be adding a play area, playroom, that it will be connected to the second floor apartment. So be an extension of that. In that, like I said, the owner eventually would like to use that for his own use, and the playroom area will be for the grandchildren, and eventually it may also become an additional or part of into an additional bedroom.
JB,
Again, it does comply with all the setbacks and all the, like I said, because we reduce the amount of work, also complies with the lot coverage, but because it is a two-family house and in a one-family residence zone, we are, of course, over the 10% allow increased area that we can have. I just want the board to know that 10% in the garage will be, we achieve that 10% about 3 or 4 feet into the garage, given the size of the garage. And in the neighborhood, I mean, we have pictures of the neighborhood. This is 16 Campwood. This is the house, the original house. And this is the driveway with an access. This is pictures of the neighborhood. Again, there will be no undesirable change to the neighborhood because we are removing the garage from the rear, and we are by attaching it to the house. Architecturally, it's a better finish. the size of the upstairs are determined by the size of the garage. It is another substantial request that we ask him, but also in this neighborhood, there is a lot of large residents, and we feel that this is not, the request that we ask him is not out of sight with the neighborhood. We have, I mean, the adjacent properties also in front of the board. So we have, this is commercial. This is a two-family house across the street. And this is a multi-family, which is 15 campus adjacent to it. So in itself, we feel that the size, well, that the proposed work, which is removing the old garage, removing some of the pavement, reducing the amount of impervious area, and attaching the garage to the existing home. It is a much better architectural and aesthetic job for the neighborhood.
Thank you. So I have one question. If you go back, well, I have a couple of questions, but let's start with this one.
Yeah.
So the picture where you showed the overview of the backyard, there was an existing garage. You're planning to take that down totally? And
Yes.
there was another structure that was on the plan as well. Are you taking that down? That's a little further.
Yes. Yes, there is a one-story addition. It was done in the past, and that will be taken out when we build the garage.
Okay, so what's the structure behind that?
It's the garage.
No, oh, that.
This is a garage. In this garage, this is the garage that suffered damage by the fire. I would say maybe a couple of years ago, or maybe more than that, but it was a severe damage by fire. The original idea was to reconstruct the garage, and then we went through different variations of how to reconstruct this into the garage in itself would be too close to the property line. So we decided for the option of reducing the impervious area and moving the garage away from the property line so it comply with the setback requirement for the zone.
Okay,
JB,
so,
sorry.
go ahead, no, okay, Kyle.
my question, I mean, I have a few questions, but I'll start with this one. If you look at the right side of this diagram, that shows the extent of the extension or add-on to the space. It's fairly significant. It encompasses more space than the prior garage did. So even if we were looking at this prior non-conforming use and like giving you something similar to that with whatever's proposed and approved, why not have the footprint of the prior garage just moved away from the side yard setback onto your land so you can still have a detached garage?
Well, the idea then the detached garage will have an area, it had an area above it, and also by the time you do the maneuvering, then we will be, as you can tell here, by moving the garage closer to the house, we also reduce substantially the size of the pavement and the impervious area that was there. And the three-car garage in itself is in compliance with code. I mean, we allowed to have the three-car garage is the area above it that is required the variance.
So the garage is only going to house 3 cars?
Yes. And the reason we are, let me see. So when we doing the 3-car garage, if I can show here, you know, we have the entrance to the apartment, to the second floor apartment. And that is why, in order to make this work, is we push the garage a little bit out.
So where is
the garage?
I couldn't tell on the plans. It looked like you had to go outside and come back in.
To go to the house.
No, this is the entrance to the second floor apartment. So you will go up, and this is the entrance to the garage. And this, so then you will come here and go into the kitchen area in the existing apartment, and this will go into the playroom and an additional bathroom that we're building.
So you are putting in a bathroom on the second floor.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm just
Also,
curious.
you know,
Yeah.
we are enlarging in we are enlarging in non-conformity, but also, I mean, this is a lot, a two-family residence situated in a 1,500 square foot lot, which is more than double the size of the required lot size. And again, adjacent, we have a multi-family, 16 campus. There's a one family here, but across the street, there is a school and there's a two-family home. And we feel that by attaching the garage to the main frame, it does create a better finish and a better use for the upstairs.
the structure, is there any?
It's not. It's the second. Second residential. It's a one-family district. Sorry, just explaining, so what's non-conforming here is the second residential unit, because it's a one-family zoning district, and this is a two-family house. So, because it's the second unit that's non-conforming, that second unit is being increased by 86%, where the code only permits you to increase a non-conforming use by 10%. So just so the board, for clarification, for the board's purpose, so you understand. So the focus is really on that additional living area on the second floor and not so much the actual garage, because the garage has been put in a conforming location. A house garage, even a 3-car garage, it meets the coverage and those other things that are usually problematic. So it's the focus for you is really that second floor space and the extent of that second floor space.
Right, so the second floor space itself is 900 square feet, right?
900 and something.
988.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'll just be completely honest with you. My mind is going, well, 988 square feet is larger than the livable, habitable requirements for additional apartments in some of the buildings we've been looking at recently. So what guardrails are there to keep this from being turned into another apartment in the future? Is that something that we can specify, just so it's in the record if that ever got voted on?
I'm sorry.
To prevent this from potentially, regardless of because this variance will live with the structure, not the owner, and not whoever's living there. So to prevent it from being turned in the future into a potential actual living space, are there guardrails that we can put in place?
It's just a matter of enforcement.
Mhm.
That is, it obviously the way it's set up, it could easily become a third
studio
apartment.
Or a third apartment.
Especially with 3 parking spots.
But that's a matter of enforcement. If they do that and they get found out that they're doing that, they will be in violation and they will have to remove that apartment. Or any other use that they might put up there that isn't merely being part of that second floor unit.
Well, I guess my other question is, in looking at the paperwork that was submitted, I don't see where there was anything written, that went through the 5 factors. Is there, I would really like to see the thought process behind this written out for the board so that we could, have a better understanding of what your thinking is. And I think that's something that we really need to look at in terms of, I hear what you're saying, but I think that we're gonna have to vet this out a little bit more. That is a really large playroom. I think, as a playroom.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, we will expand the narrative letter and touch all the different bases where they decide what changed, how we can, there's no other way to, solve the benefit.
Well,
The sustainable-
what is the benefit sought?
Right.
The benefit stored is that the owner of the property will be moving into the second floor, and he's trying to create a playroom, and eventually maybe another bedroom there, but it definitely be one unit. And there is no limit on the size. It's just,
Well, there is a limit on the size because it's non-conforming.
well, no, but I'm saying there's no regulation on the size of a playroom or how many bedrooms he can have. This is the only reason we're here is, yes, because this is an S75 and this is an existing non-conforming structure. So, we can entertain reducing somehow the playroom upstairs. But the three-car garage, it complies, and that's definitely what they wanted to maintain.
So I don't think we can say anything negative about the garage. We're only looking at the playroom. I just, I don't see how it satisfies even 3 of the 5 factors, which is going to be problematic when we get to a vote, at least my personal perspective.
I think we need to justify why we're doing an 86% increase, and I think that
Okay.
10%. So that's why I think we need
We
to.
will, okay.
I think that's like a, not really a stopping point, but I think that we need to, it really would be a discussion that we would have to have. We know that, it needs to be 10, we can go up to 10%, but to justify 86%, and though I think your plan looks beautiful, I like that.
But it's big.
But it's big, right?
Okay. So we will put that together and revisit this. And like I said, I will discuss some of the, again, the construction and the aesthetics that go with the house that derives this as well. But we will try to do our best to justify and put that in writing on a narrative for the meeting.
Okay. I guess is
And we will bring you pictures, I think, of the what it was, the backyard with the existing garage. So it is, I think there's a better, we can show the board a better understanding of the before and after.
okay, that works. Yeah. Brian, and welcome. We want to welcome Brian. Let's see,
Oh, it's okay, Granoff.
Granoff to the board. He is our alternate, and as you can see, some of our regular members are here. So Brian is starting his first day with his feet on the ground. So do you have any questions?
No, I think the questions asked, I feel great with, and I feel great with pushing it to the next meeting.
Okay. So at this point, and you get to have your first vote too, is I'd like to ask for a motion to open the public hearing.
So moved, Kyle.
You can second.
Second.
So moved by Kyle, seconded by Brian. If there's no objection to opening the public hearing is now open. Is there anyone in our Zoom audience to speak on this matter?
There's interested party there. Did you want to speak on this matter? If so, can you hit the raised hand at the bottom? Okay. Or not?
Yeah. Did you call Bob?
No. But you-
Bob, you have anything to add?
No worries.
Okay. And just for the record, there's nobody in the room.
Right. If there is no one on Zoom to speak on this matter, if there's no one in the room to speak on this matter, May I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing?
So moved, Kyle.
Second.
Brian.
We're just,
saying
sorry,
our
oh,
names.
sorry, I realized that.
Clear for the record.
Second,
that's
Brian.
why.
And if there's no objection to adjourning the public hearing, the public hearing is adjourned at this time. If there is nothing else on this matter, I may have a motion to adjourn this matter to the February 2023 meeting.
So moved, Kyle.
Second, Brian.
I don't think we need to have a roll call on this, do we?
No.
Okay. If there's no objection to adjourning the meeting till February 2023, the meeting will be adjourned until our next meeting. And since there's no objection, the meeting is adjourned. This application is adjourned. And thank you, JB. We look forward to seeing you again.
Next meeting. Have a good night.
Have a
Good
good
night.
night.
Good night, good night.
All other matters for tonight have been adjourned. Oh, you didn't hear that?
Shortest meeting ever.
Yes, we could have a fun Valentine's Day.
Yeah, that's why I'm not coming.
Can
And
I
if
do
there's,
that?
if there's nothing else, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
It's your turn.
Motion to, wait, sorry.
You can say so moved.
Just say so.
So it's so moved, those are the little nuances that like I'm not as.
Yeah.
I'm looking at more of the houses and the
Oh,
plans.
okay.
Those I have to get used to.
Say so moved.
So moved?
Yes.
I always wondered what that really meant. So-
So the motion is on, you say that the motion is moved to go forward.
Got it, so it's so moved.
Yes.
Okay, so moved.
And
And seconded, Kyle.
so moved by Brian, seconded by Kyle. If there is no objection, which I don't think there will be, the meeting is now
Adjourned.
adjourned. I was like, geez, I just had a like a funny moment. Okay.
Thanks for
I
stopping
wanna
by,
thank
Joe.
everyone for coming. Joe, like, you ready?
Joe, do you have
to-
anything to say?
Do you have anything to add?
No, like, I think it was just handled perfectly fine. I was just waiting if you had any questions, but otherwise, looks okay.
Bob, we hope you're okay.
How are you?
Okay.
I'm okay. I'm a little beat up over here, but I led with my face going down the stairs. So
Oh,
Yikes.
well, we hope you're okay.
Yeah,
And that's it.
I hope Gail will let you live to see the next meeting.
Yeah.
All
All right. Good night, everyone.
Okay,
Good night.
good night, everyone.